This forecast update effective around 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday, October 4th, 2013. And here's the latest look at Tropical Storm Karen over in the Gulf of Mexico. We're going to switch back to her in just a minute, but focus our attention on what has become the first winter storm of the 2013 season. Mind you, guys, this storm is coming early this year. The last 4 out of the last 5 winters have been the snowiest on record, and it looks like we're getting an early start to this season as well. Last year, it started in Iceland in a 24-hour period. That was a massive snowfall for such a small area, but it ended up burying 13,000 sheep approximately overnight. This winter storm here, blizzard advisories are now under effect, and we're going to be watching this because this is the time of year when chances for extreme events can increase in likelihood based on the season shift from summer to winter. And it is the hot air meeting cold that creates the clash of the titans. And models have been hinting that we could see a major swell event set up off the east coast of the United States. We always like to remind people that Hurricane Sandy, although a minimal Category 1 hurricane, created one of the best swells in recent memory. And the perfect storm, the one the movie was made about, was in October as well. So we are in that time of year. So switching you back over now to Tropical Storm Karen in the Gulf of Mexico. And as you can see earlier this morning, she lost all of the convection over the low-level circulation center and was moving off towards the northwest. Now, there is some re-intensification as the system weakened overnight. There is some re-intensification forecast. And how this is going to work out now is as Karen starts to curve off towards the northeast, it's going to give her a chance for that low-level circulation center to move back up under the convection. So we are anticipating some intensification over the next 24 hours or prior to making landfall. We noted last night on Facebook and Twitter, it looked like that she had stalled a little bit just to the north of the tip of the Yucatan Peninsula, but in fact, it was wind shear that was blowing the convection off towards the east, away from that low-level circulation center, which gave us a better eye this morning when we saw it on the recent satellite visible loops. But here's what we're looking at, guys, now. We know that Karen is over in the Gulf of Mexico. Texas is going to be getting large surf conditions. Panhandle should be firing. But what's going to happen for the East Coasters? We'll take a look at how this is setting up and why we're talking about the possibilities of a significant or a major swell event by Atlantic standards coming up in the forecast. We basically have 2 low-pressure troughs in here. We've got one that's set up northeast of Puerto Rico and another one that's starting to trail off towards the northeast, east of the islands. And you can already see how convection is starting to fire up in 3 locations. We've got it right here at the tail of this, or in the middle of this trough, and then another one starting to fire up in here on the tail end of it. And as you guys know, if you follow our forecast, we always talk about during tropical season, you always watch the tail ends of fronts or along fronts for an area of low pressure to spin up. And this is how it's starting to look. I mean, check it out, guys. You've got 1, 2, now 3 just north of Puerto Rico, and you can already see some cyclonic spin with all 3 of them. As high pressure starts to build in the Atlantic, that's going to shift everything moving back towards the west. So we are going to be looking for some homegrown development, guys, in the forecast as models continue to suggest that this is what's going to happen. And giving you a little closer view in here just north of the Bahamas. And again, here's that area right in here. Now, this is likely going to move off towards the north and northeast and be out of here, but it is the one down here that we're going to watch as it's going to continue to lift off towards the west-northwest and possibly get in our window. Here's the latest look at the Euro model, the ECMWF, that has been historically one of the most reliable models. And this is for October 14th, I believe it is. But this is showing an area of low pressure in the Bahamas here and one just to the northeast of Bermuda with high pressure stacked up over here, Nova Scotia. This is going to pinch the gradient if this model forecast holds true. This is going to create some northeast winds along the east coast of the United States, with possible some major swells coming in here on the northwest side of this low, as the opportunity for the pressure gradient to tighten would be good here, and also in here towards Florida. Now, this is just one model run of many to come, but when they keep hinting at this every day in various different forms, it's something that needs to be watched, because we could end up with a major system possibly breaking the 8-year record drought of a major hurricane threatening up in here towards the northeast. So folks, we are entering, or what we believe we are entering, a very active period over the next week or so on this side of the Northern Hemi. We're hoping that you'll stay tuned for our forecast as we continue to monitor the models and real-time satellite imagery, but it looks like increasing chances of a swell event at the moment setting up along the east coast of the United States. That's all we got for you for now, guys. Stay tuned for the next update.